gathering this lovely Wednesday morning. We have with us this morning Bonnie Golden. Bonnie is a specialized yoga teacher with expertise in perinatal and postpartum yoga and yoga across the lifespan. She's got 1,000 hours of teaching experience with adults and all ages and stages. And she's also the author of Yoga for Holistic Healing, Practices for Pain and Stress Relief, which has 5 stars on Amazon, so go check it out. She is also a former college faculty member specializing in working with women in transition and a pregnancy and postpartum exercise specialist. And she's created a comprehensive outline. It's a course entitled Postnatal Yoga for Holistic Healing and Joy. Bonnie has taught prenatal and postpartum yoga for over 11 years, including prenatal yoga, postpartum, partner prenatal, and baby and parent yoga. So without further ado, thank you so much for being here, Bonnie.
Thank you
so glad
much
to have you.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for the warm welcome. I love what the 4th trimester project is doing, and I'm excited to share the practices of yoga this morning with everybody. No yoga experience necessary, and there's no acrobatic poses in this practice. No ankle behind the head. Some of the practice, just so people know, you can sit down, you can stand up, just depends what's going on in your life. Some of it will be lying down, like I say, standing, sitting, all over the place. I do encourage people to stay hydrated, drink water, go to the bathroom you need to, come back. Any piece of the practice I'm going to offer everyone this morning can be done on its own. So you can do 2 minutes of what I'm offering today. I'm going to also show how you can incorporate your baby in some of the practices I have. You'll see I have a baby doll here who's going to demo for us. I think that's about it. I do want to get started. We're going to start standing. And I'd like to ask everybody to make this shape with your hands. This is a mudra. So go ahead and join the tips of your 4 fingers and bring your thumbs up. So I'm going to be referring to this mudra throughout our practice today. Move my microphone. And hi, everybody out there in Facebook land as well. Glad you're here. So if you're seated and you're able to stand, please go ahead and stand. Bring your feet about hip joint distance apart and make that mudra with your hands down here by your belly. Press into your heels, lift and spread your toes. And I'd like to invite you to bring your breath down. So when we're under stress, we're kind of breathing up here. So inhale down where this mudra is. And exhale, let it go. 2 more times. Bring the breath down, maybe lightly touch your belly. Feel the expansion and then exhale. You can blow it out, let it go through your mouth if you want to. 1 more time, inhale, feed your system. Exhale, let it go and feel your shoulders relax. Let's bring our hands in front of our hearts and open up your chest. Inhale, exhale, bring your hands together. Inhale, bring your hands up together. Exhale in front of the heart. So keep going. Inhale. Exhale. And up. So stretching, lengthening to the sky really helps take tension out of our bodies. Exhale in front of the heart. On this inhale, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Feels as if you're squeezing out tension and stress. Drop the shoulders away from the ears, but still squeeze out what you don't need to bring to this practice. And go ahead and bring the hands in front of your heart. And inhale. Exhale, simply breathing. Release Let's shake it out. So I like to kind of discharge stress from your nervous system. Shake your fingers, shake your wrists, shake your ankles, your feet. Bring your, yeah, a little bit more. I see a lot of good movement here. Just let it go. Bring your feet a little more apart, hands to the hips, and we're going to do pelvic circles. So I'd like you to think about the clock, 12, 3, 6, 9, 12, 3, 6, 9. So very simple joint freedom here. We get stiff in the hips, 12, 3, 6, 9. Make it big, go the other way. Are you breathing? Yeah, good. Excellent. Last one. Beautiful. Keep your feet about hip distance or wider apart. Let your arms float up. Bring your shoulders to your ears. So this is what stress looks like. Relax. Good. One more time. This is what stress feels like. And then exhale. Beautiful. Then we're going to rotate one shoulder in and one shoulder out. So make the movement from your shoulder. So if you've been feeding your baby for a while or just doing tasks at the computer, these shoulder rotations are just a great way to wring out stress that you might be holding. I call them fussy. You can kind of riff on it and move with your hips. This is flowing yoga. There's so many ways to do yoga. And last one. Excellent. Go ahead and bring your feet so a little bit wider so your toes are forward. Press a little bit more into your heels. Let your arms float up into this shape, which is called the star pose. And I like to tell people, take up space. So feel energy out through your fingertips on both sides. If you're able, have your wrists aligned with your shoulders. So really feel that. And then bring your arms a little bit behind you so your chest opens. Gaze where your wall and ceiling meet. And breathe. So feel as if your spine is moving in, forward, and up. Chest open. Inhale, exhale, release your arms down. Beautiful. Walk your feet in. I'm going to go sideways so you can see. Roll one shoulder, then the other shoulder behind you. Clasp your hands at around the lumbar, so a little bit higher. Draw your elbows together and a nice standing back bend, a chest opener. Again, let your chin go toward where the ceiling and the wall meet. Open your chest. Connect to the earth with your feet. So really charge up your feet to Mother Earth. Feel your lungs fill, feeding you with what yogis call prana, the life force. And then inhale, exhale, release. Coming to mountain pose. I call this a mountain pose. So your palms are forward, feet are joint stacked. So the joint of the hip, joint of the knee, joint of the ankle, one line. So we're not legs together. Let's just have a nice solid foundation in a mountain pose. A little more weight on your heels as you inhale. And exhale. So if you've been sitting, again, a long time, just standing up, this is a practice in doing 3 or 4 of these, sometimes called snow angel arms. Snow in Arizona is kind of Flagstaff. Inhale. Exhale. And on the next couple, we're coordinating breath with movement. Lift your heels a little bit. Just lift your heels if you want to play around with balance. Exhale, heels come down. 2 more times. Inhale, fingertips to the sky. Exhale. You can feel a nice stretch in your calves too. And last one, please. So just this is a practice, just remembering to do that kind of shape. Interlace your fingers, crisscross your thumbs. We're taking a mudra that looks like this, the finger to the sky, crisscross the thumbs, standing back in mountain pose. Lengthen that up to the sky. Root into your heels, the base of your big toe, the little toe. Feel that taking up space in this vertical plane. And then up and over to your left. So you're taking a lateral stretch. Now, if you want to, bend your left knee. This is called crescent moon, very feminine. The moon is, of course, a feminine kind of attitude. Go ahead and come back to center. Interlace your fingers the other way, crisscross the other thumb on top, take some brain, some thinking, and go up and over. So these beautiful side bends just really help open the lateral line of our body. Bend the knee if you want to, either knee really, to help us breathe. Breathing is really the heart of yoga. Inhale, exhale, come back to center. The shapes are moved by the breath. Bring your arms down, bring your arms up, and then we're going to let the hips come back, let the arms come to about shoulder height. So this is hip hinging. Check to see that your knees are not going past your toes. So like your bum goes back, your fingertips forward. Inhale, bring the arms up. Inhale, exhale, chair pose, powerful pose. Let's take it with the arms out now. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Shift your weight left and right. And just notice if you tend to be favoring one side or the other. Now notice the inner and outer arches of your feet. Heart open, bottom tips of the shoulder blades rolling down your back. And then since we're Arizona, let's do cactus arms. I know this is a really good way to build strength around the pelvis, the quads. Woo. Inhale, exhale, rise up. Oh, and release the hands down. Make little fists with your hands, and we're gonna call this tenderize the meat. So go ahead and release tension in your quadriceps. Excellent. Beautiful. Let's bring our legs open. Is this comfortable for you? The shape is going to look like having your hips come back. So let me show you sideways. Hips go back. I want you to avoid rounding your spines because that just adds to some backache stuff. So hips go back. That's what I want you to think about. Hips go back. We're going to pretend we're picking up a big boulder from the earth. Feel your core engage. Bring that boulder and then push it out into the universe. Whew. One more time. Hips go back, knees bend. It's kind of a squat. Do what you can depending when you had your baby. Please modify. We're using our core. We've got a big boulder. Then we're release. Inhale, exhale. Relax down. Bring yourself to mountain pose and take a few breaths with this mudra of contentment at the belly. So learning to pause and breathe is a big part of balance in our nervous system. We go, 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 and just pausing, bring the breath down. This mudra can be your sign to remember to breathe. Beautiful. Go ahead and release your arms. Bring your legs open. Rotate your left toes to the left. Kick your right heel back. Now, I'd like you to look at your heels, your feet, and have your front heel lined up with your back heel. And that kind of mostly shows us what how the female pelvis is shaped. Let arms float up. Drop your shoulders. And we're going to pretend we're going into triangle pose like a windmill. And then we're going to come up again. So 2 more times. You don't have to bring your hand down to your ankle. We just want to keep those shoulders open. Last one, please. Triangle pose, root into your feet. Look forward, look up at your thumbnail, smile, breathe. Beautiful. Building strength here. And allow the back of the body to draw you up. Keep your arms up for a challenge. Drop shoulders away from ears, palms down. Bend the front knee as the hips go straight down. And then when we come up, we'll straighten the knee and bring the hands in front of the heart. With your breath, please. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Juicy joints, last one. Warrior 2. Sense the back heel so that you're really connected to Mother Earth. Let your shoulders relax and gaze out way into the horizon, past the computer screen. And find that inner fortitude, that inner strength as we come to the, I sometimes call Mama Warrior pose. Straighten the front knee. Let the back hand come to the back leg. Let the front hand come up. Look at your hands. Breathe. It's a reverse triangle. And inhale, exhale. Let that arm come down. Turn your toes forward. Pause in star pose. Drop the shoulders. Find your breath. So can we learn to take a pause? I tell my postnatal students in my course, once an hour, breathe for a minute, move for a minute, pause and meditate on your breath for a minute. That's all. That's all you need to do. I call it accumulating calm. We're going to rotate your left foot to the left, bring your right toes to the right, check your base, heel to heel, and we're going to do the same sequence, coming in and out of triangle a couple times. Breathe, please. Excellent. Beautiful. And last one, triangle pose. So sense that your chest stays open here. Look at your thumbnail. And is your jaw relaxed? Is your mind in the sense of the same sense of place as your body, as your breath? Let the back body bring you up. Keep the arms up for a challenge, or if you want to shake it out, do so. Bend your, bend your front knee. And then we'll come up, same vinyasa, hands at the heart. With the breath, please. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And last one, warrior 2. Shrug those shoulders. Make space between the tops of the shoulders, the bottoms of the ears. Find your breath. Find your gaze as steady. So when we steady our gaze, we can calm our mind. And reverse triangle, straighten the front knee, let the top arm, hand come up, breathing in, breathing out. Feels so good. And inhale, exhale, release. Bring your toes forward. I'm going to show, if you don't have a block, don't worry about it. You might have a chair, a book, just something if you want to bring the floor to you. I'll show with a block, but you don't need a block. Have your feet apart, your toes forward. Bring hands to your pelvis. Draw elbows together. Lead with the heart, with a straight spine. Just come halfway down to a wide leg forward fold. So we're not in what I call Shalabhasana. We don't want to pick up things with a round spine. We've got a nice straight spine. I'm going to show with putting my fingertips on the block, but you could bring your fingertips to the floor. And by the way, you could also have a chair and take the pose that way. So all kinds of fun things to do in yoga. I'll bring my fingertips down, shift your weight a little more to your heels, and feel your hips move back as the crown of your head moves forward. Breathe in, breathe out. Bring the breath down on the inhale and feel a nice contraction on the exhale, like you're squeezing your abs. You are squeezing your abs. Inhale one more time. Exhale. Bring the right hand underneath on the floor under the neck. Open up to the left. Root down and rise up. And unwinding, coming to the second side, please. Breathing in, breathing out. Now you can micro bend your knees a little if you're going, ooh, my hamstrings are tight. You make a little micro bend in your knees, that's just fine. And then we're going to just move left and right, just to get kind of a runner's lunge and get those inner thighs stretching, nice movement in the glutes. Beautiful. Coming to center, heel toe your feet in, bring your hands to your hips, hinge back up. So we don't want to round, we want to engage the spine, and let's shake it out again. Excellent. Whew. All right. I'll face the short end of my mat. So I'll do this whole shape in this other plane. Actually, I'll actually do it forward so you can see. But the joint stacking. So we don't want to be a place where we're tenuous. We want the feet about as wide apart as those hip joints. Bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, open. Bend the front knee. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. 2 more, please. Inhale. Exhale. Same movement we did earlier, but with warrior 1. Exhale. Beautiful. On this next one, keep the arms open and then come like an airplane. This is fun if you have little kids to play airplane balance. Shift your weight to the standing leg, front foot, and if you can, lift the back foot off the ground. Have fun with it. Feel your glutes working, your hamstrings shaking and quaking. Woo! And then if you can, come with control with the core into warrior 1. Beautiful. Inhale, exhale, release. Excellent. Stand for a moment before we go to the second side. Feel the difference. So that, again, that pause, learning to, we don't have to do. Pause, breathe, feel what's going on inside of me and outside of me as we'll take the other leg back. Set up your shape so your feet are as wide apart as your hips. Bring the hands in front of your heart, please. Inhale, you know where we're going. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale, stay here. This time, gaze a little up. Feel your spine moving in, forward, and up. Your ribs could be slightly forward of your hips, of your pelvis. Find that breath. And then we'll play with that airplane version of warrior 3, a balance And you can keep the back toes on the ground. I'll go sideways. You can keep them on the ground. You can hold on to a wall or a chair. And start to find air under that back foot. Gaze forward or up. Notice the difference between the sides. And when you're ready, excellent. Coming into warrior one. Spine in, forward, and up. Gaze can be up a little. And inhale, exhale. Release down. Go ahead and bring your feet in. Come back to a mountain pose for a moment. And notice the bottom tips, the bottom of your shoulder blades, kind of relaxing down the back. Notice, sense the chest is open when our palms come forward. Breathe. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to work our way to some poses on the ground. Hopefully you have a plate. You don't have to have a mat, just anything that you're okay getting on the ground with. I'd like you to come to the short end of the mat, feet about hip distance apart. Sweep the arms up, inhale. And then, like we said before, let the hips go back. Sense that your belly is going to the top of the thigh. So we've got a bent knee, forward fold. And then a half forward fold. Slide your fingertips up, come to a straight back. Shoulders relaxed away from your ears. Feel the lower back having some spaciousness. Inhale, exhale, hips come back. Bring your fingertips to the earth. Walk back. As you do so, your hands will palm print to the ground. Bend the knees as much as you want. Downward facing dog. Pedal a little bit. So bend one knee, then the other. And you could also have your feet a little wider than your hips. See what that feels like. Our goal is not to get our heels to the ground here. Our goal is to traction the spine. So as much as you can bend your knees, you'll feel a nice length in your spine. Breathe in, breathe out. And slowly let your knees come down to the earth. Big toes together, knees apart. Make a prayer pose, a mudra where your the hands come behind the head. Or do your yoga, that's my motto. Any child's pose that works for you. Allow your back to expand with the breath. Excellent. And then inhale, exhale, release and come to all fours. So you can bring your wrists underneath your shoulders, slide your shoulders away from your ears. And again, I just want to say that that first part we did standing is a practice. You could do 3 of those poses. Now you can come to all fours. Here's my baby. So you could put your baby underneath all fours. Draw your shoulders away from the ears. And then lengthen the chest forward. Inhale. Exhale, chin to chest, stretch the lower back. This is the cow pose. You could move to your baby. And then the cat, meow, to the baby. So, excuse me, this is the cat pose. Sorry, I got that wrong. Strange animal, the cow that meows. Okay. But you get the idea. Making sounds, having baby underneath you. Roll your toes under and slide your hips back toward your heels. So your toes are under, and I hope you're feeling a nice length in the glutes. The glutes can get pretty tight for all kinds of reasons. Bring your arms forward. You can talk to the baby when you're in this pose. And then coming back up to table. So we're going to go vinyasa style, moving back. And those of you who have a plank in your practice, you could come to a knees down plank or a knees up plank. I want you to really respect where your body is right now. If you just gave birth 4 weeks ago, that's probably not what you want to be doing. So we're just going back and forth, moving our joints and breathing. Good. And last one. Coming back, I'm gonna move baby. Your toes are curled under. Walk your arms over to the left and shift your hips to the right. Breathe into the back, the ribs, the belly. Feel the pause, adjust, play with where your hands are placed. Walk your hands to the center and then over to the other side and then shift your hips. So if your hands are to the right, shift hips to the left. Breathing in and breathing out. Excellent. And walk your hands to center. Come to sit on your heels if that's comfortable for you. I'll face you. You could also take a blanket or a block and sit on that. Press into your 10 toenails. Take the skin of your thighs and just draw it back. Interlace your fingers, stretch the knuckles and palms forward, relax the shoulders, and then lengthen to the sky. It's called hero's pose, but I call it heroine's pose. Is your jaw relaxed? Can you root into Mother Earth and rise to the sky? Breathing in, breathing out. Take your left hand on your right elbow and just draw the whole body over to get another side bend. Go as far as your body allows. Feel your nervous system that has discharged stress. As we wind down a bit, go ahead and come to center. Take the other hand on the other elbow. We're just gently, respectfully finding space on the side body. Oh yeah. Breathing in, breathing out. Excellent. Inhale, exhale. Go ahead and come back to center. Let your arms come down. If you have a pillow or a blanket nearby to sit on, that's often helpful, but that's not required. I'd like to invite you to bring your right heel around to the perineum, stretch the left leg out, shift around on your hips, feel those sitting bones on the earth. Bring your right hand to your right waist and walk your fingers toward that outstretched active foot. Allow your chest to remain open. Breathe. So adjust yourself, wiggle around, find your sweet spot. It's, again, my motto is it's your yoga. Bring the hand behind the head. Optional, bring the hand up to the sky. Depending on what's going on in your shoulder, you can bring the upper arm beside the ear. Do it for you. You deserve this. And inhale, exhale. Beautiful. Release. Help that leg in. Come to the second side. Shift and take the flesh of your tush and move it to the side so you can feel a real stability on the pelvis, on the sitting bones. And we're going to go through the whole thing on the second side. It'll be different. It usually is, whether you're right or left-handed. All the variations, it's yours to embody. Breathing, breathing. Excellent. And inhale, exhale. Go ahead and release. We're going to come to our backs now. I'm actually going to show with the baby in case anyone wants to do this with the baby. But for right now, come to your backs and heel toe your feet about hip joint distance apart. Bring your arms to this shape, cactus shape. And let both knees fall over to your right. So the feet are pretty wide apart, as wide as the mat. And turn your head to the left ever so slightly. And then let the legs come up. Reset your feet if they got close together. You want them pretty wide here. And then let both knees drop over to the other side. Breathe in, breathe out. Excellent. And then inhale, exhale. Bring your knees up. Hug the knees into the chest. So bring a hand to each knee. And then press into your hips, your sacrum, straighten your elbows and feel your knees over your hip joints as you'll notice a little arch in the lower back. Inhale here, exhale, knees to chest. Keep going, inhale, release strain and tension in the lower back, exhale. 2 more, please. And last one. Beautiful. Now we're going to stir the knees in opposite directions. So you'll feel the top, the femur, that everyone knows pretty much, that big bone in the thigh, kind of stirring in the hip joint. So I'm stirring the knees in opposite directions. Go one way, then the other. Beautiful. Excellent. Then start to bring your legs towards straight. So they don't have to be all the way straight. They can kind of dangle in the sky. And I want you to really press into your hips, but don't let your ribs arch way up. Just feel the back of your ribs on the earth. And you might want to put your hands at your belly and feel, this is a great shape to kind of feel tone in the belly. It's a nice one after baby comes. Bring your hands to the inner thighs and just open your legs a little bit. Use your inner thighs to close the legs. 2 more times, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Excellent. Bring knees into chest, squeeze in. Let both feet come to the ground. And hug. Actually, let's do a couple of windshield. Just release. Release for sec. Good. And then hug your left knee into the chest and bring the left ankle above the right knee. So we've got a number 4 shape. And by the way, if you want a blanket underneath your head and neck, go ahead and put that there. If this is comfortable, you can bring the whole shape in toward you. Keep pressing into your hips. So I don't want you to feel like you're going toward a somersault. Keep pressing gently into your hips so you have a nice long spine in the back and a gorgeous hip rotator, lengthening. Is your jaw relaxed? And are you breathing? This is for you. Optional, you can straighten the underneath leg and do some ankle circles. So I like to pretend I'm drawing circles on the ceiling with my big toe. Good. Let the whole thing come down. Undo that side. Pause a minute. Just feel. Does that one side, have a little bit more spaciousness? Does something let go? And we'll take the other side, right knee in, rotate from the hip, right ankle above left knee. Shift around a little, wriggle around, and then when it feels right for you, you'll bring the whole thing in. Keep pressing into your sacrum. And optional, as we did earlier, this is just optional. If you want to do some ankle circles, or you could just keep the leg here. Sense that the top leg is moving away from your face so that you'll eke out a teeny little bit more stretch. Good. And slowly let everything come down. Again, this is a stretch, sometimes called number 4. Just that is a practice. Just remembering to do that stretch, which can also be done seated. Excellent. Let's roll onto our bellies for a pose called the Sphinx pose. And here's where I'm going to show the baby can be right here. Your baby, your child, or you can face each other. And in the Sphinx pose, think about your elbow underneath your shoulder. So we're not in Cobra, so this is a different shape. And go ahead and wriggle around, wriggle your hips. Draw your shoulders away from your ears and isometrically bring the floor toward you with your hands, toward your heart, and you'll feel your chest open. So find a sweet spot for you. Gently press into your 10 toenails. So here's my baby. Hello. So this is a gentle back bend that counters all our forward facing computer, telephone. Turn your head and look to the left. Feel a stretch on the right side of your neck. Are you breathing? Turn your head to center. And second side, get a nice stretch in your neck. And back to center. Take a nice deep breath in so that you can feel the expansion inside of you. And the floor is your teacher. You're getting feedback from the floor. And a nice deep breath out, and feel again how the shoulders soften away from the ears. We'll do 2 more of that kind of conscious breathing in the Sphinx pose. Inhale. Let everything puff up. Exhale, draw your heart forward. Lengthen in the spine. 1 more, please, on your own, just like that. Beautiful. And we'll stack our hands underneath our forehead or our chin, whatever works for your body. And take 3 breaths. You might even want to bring your hand to your lower back so that you surround your body with breath. So if you bring your hand there, you might feel your ribs expand. You might feel a different pressure in the body when you lower the breath, even into the back body. Inhale, nice, long, slow, deep. Exhale, release. 2 more, please. Every exhale is down regulating for stress. So if you can really extend your exhales, just let it go. This is a practice. 1 minute of breathing in this crocodile pose variation. Slowly, carefully, mindfully roll back to your back. And we're going to do that bridge pose. I'm showing with a baby, but that's optional. So let's set up first. Feel like feel your heels, if possible, with your fingertips. You may or may not be able to. And wiggle your toes. Are your toes pigeon toeing? Are they Charlie Chaplining? I want you to sense your toes going straight forward. Press into your feet and lift your hips up to the sky. And this is where, if you have a baby that likes to go for a ride, they can go for a ride here. I'd like you to sense that your glutes are at the party. Not overly gripping, but that you're using your glutes and not just lifting with your hamstrings. And go ahead and release your hips down. This is called bridge lifts. So lift, it's not a big old rounded bridge pose. I'm just really wanting you to find strength in your hips and your glutes. Last one, keep hips up. I'm gonna put this baby aside. Roll your shoulders underneath you a little bit more. Press into the inner and outer arches of your feet. Lengthen out of your lower back. Feel your chest open. And optional, totally optional, you could clasp your hands behind you. But if that causes any kind of stress or tension, there's many ways to build a bridge. So bring your arms just beside you. Feel the inner and outer arches of your feet. And if you still have some endurance, inhale your arms over your head and lengthen out of the lower back. Slowly lower hips down as the arms come down. And we're going to do something like that. We're going to do that one more time. It's called bridge lifts. Press into your feet. Let your hips come to the sky. Arms come over the head. Go as high as your body allows. Breathing, breathing. And then inhale, exhale, release down. Excellent. Arms out to a T or to cactus. So whatever feels good for you. Take your feet off the ground and bring your knees and ankles as together as your bones and your body allows. We'll allow the whole thing, like you have one leg, go over to the right. Even if the left shoulder comes off the floor a little, don't worry about that. Feel the top hip moving away from the waist. Notice if there's room for your breath. Maybe moving your tissues and your bones and recalibrating your nervous system has definitely made even a smidge more room for your breath. Use a little bit of belly strength to bring the legs up. And then let the whole thing go over to the second side. Look at the ceiling, have your eyes open or closed. See what's around you. Or feel what's inside of you. And then inhale, exhale. Go ahead and bring your legs up, hug your knees into the chest.
And then stretch the left leg, the right leg out, full body stretch, arms overhead as best that feels comfortable for you. Go ahead and flex your feet a little bit, pump out in the calves. Feel the low belly connect here. Breathing, breathing. And then inhale, exhale. Let your arms come down. Bring your feet to the ground if you have any tweakiness in your back. So this is a way to do a final relaxation with the knees bent. You could bring a pillow or a blanket underneath your head and neck. It's always nice. We want to avoid the chin jutting up toward the ceiling. Bring your arms away from your body so that there's enough room for the ribs to move for your breath. Feet on the ground or stretch the legs out. And slowly smooth out the skin of your face. Let your jaw part and let your tongue relax, especially the root of the tongue. Soften your eyelids and your temples. Let every breath, especially the exhales, be another stage of letting go. Sense of softness in your chest, in your shoulders. And then bringing your attention to the palms of your hands. Can you feel the pulse of life? Can you feel the life force within you? Let the whole back of the body, the hips, the back, any part of your legs that's touching the ground, let the whole back of the body just spread out, releasing. Stress is tightness and relaxation is an openness. Can you feel even a little bit more open after your practice right now? Bring the hands to the belly, enjoying the 4 fingertips. The thumb remains not touching. And sense your breath moving down toward that mudra, that seal, that hand shape of contentment. And a whole another exhale releases even more. One more. Beautiful. Invite you to roll to your side, whatever's most comfortable for you. And use your upper arm as a pillow. Take a breath there. We're not in a hurry. Let every movement be its own practice. And then as you come up, imagine the head coming up last. Press into your arms, using your arm strength to come up.
And we'll, whatever seat you're comfortable in, or kneeling or sitting, just bring your fingers together here. Take a nice deep inhale, again in the seated position. Exhale long, slow, and deep. Place your hands together in front of your heart. And I wish you a week of peace and calm and love. Thank you for participating, everybody.
Wow, thank you so much, Bonnie. My goodness, I feel like a new person.
I'm so glad.
Really needed that today.
Good. I'd love to hear any questions, feedback, comments, how this unfolded for anyone here.
Yeah, I would love to open up to questions as well. I'm just going to check in on the Facebook page as well. I don't see anything on there currently, but you know, as we find that comments come in, we often you know, check and make sure that we get those to our speakers. So we will do that if any arise. For those of you who are on our call this morning, do you have any questions for Bonnie? Would anyone like to comment on how they're feeling now, or on how this flow went for them? My shoulders feel great.
Can I jump in?
Yeah, absolutely.
I just noticed that I forget how tight my sides get from holding kids and like hunching over. And it's always a really nice, especially in the triangle going into that, it's like, oh, wow, that really feels good to be opening up. It opens up the chest and the back. So
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, I agree. That lateral line can get very bound up.
yeah, you don't even
Especially
realize it.
crossing your legs one way or another can tighten one side over the other if that's the habit. So a lot of stuff contributes, but that's a great observation. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great one.
Thank you.
In the comments. Oh, go ahead, Anita.
Hi, I just want to thank all of you for offering this opportunity for yoga. And I also want to tell, is it Bonnie, the instructor,
Yes.
Yes.
that her description of the movements was very exact and very helpful, and whether to bend your knees and encouraging us to do what our body allows. I really liked that, and thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you so much for saying that. Everyone's so different, so I really try to make a point of giving variations. So thank you for noticing that.
I agree. I've done yoga with, you know, like different practitioners online or on apps or, you know, with YouTube. And I love how slow you take it as well, because it helps me to feel like I'm in tune and not just jumping to the next thing.
Right.
And I'm sure it matters who your audience is, obviously, because if someone is just very adept with yoga, they're going to be able to know what certain things mean. But for me, I would definitely classify myself as very much a beginner. So that was very nice, very clear.
And you know, the depth of yoga is going deep. It's not going, you can do aerobics as aerobics.
Right.
That's a thing. You can do yoga as aerobics, but how deep? I don't know. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I'm not judging, you know, there's a yoga for everybody,
For sure.
but it's kind of like, okay, that's a great stretch, but have I revealed something about myself? And that's the ultimate thing about yoga.
I love that.
Thank you for saying that, yeah.
In the comments, Melissa wants to take a nap now. She feels so relaxed. I can't say I disagree. I kind of just wanted to stay on my rug, although it made me realize I need to vacuum. Because I didn't. I also have a comment in here. Megan says it's making time to move is so hard. And what kind of thoughts do you have about making movement more accessible and less overwhelming? And I would absolutely echo that, Megan. I find it hard as well to find that time.
Yeah, so I'm a big fan, and I agree, of 1 minute practices. And I that's what I teach in postnatal yoga, but any human, like you don't have to really make it for an hour. You don't even have to make it for 15 minutes. If you can stand up and go,
Mm.
2 times every 15 minutes, like that will, I call it, I'm gonna copyright this, accumulate calm. So we talk about accumulating stress. So I'm talking about what can you do at regular intervals to accumulate calm in your system so that you're, first of all, that bring you to awareness, to saying, oh, now I'm gonna breathe and stretch, you know? And so little reminders are helpful. Like I've had people, it's the old fashioned, put a sticky note on your device and write the word breathe, or write the word stand, or write the word stretch. Gaze at a plant and take 3 breaths. So, you know, just Megan, it kind of depends about what works for you. Can I show you guys one more? Do we have a minute? I want to show you one thing here. This
Absolutely.
is for Megan and everybody. So you don't need a yoga mat, okay? You don't want a chair that's gonna roll, right? You don't want it on wheels. You want a stable chair. So I'll say, you know, get up, take a breath. Bring your hands to the chair, walk back. Oh, it's down dog. Oh, I think I'll take a plank. Oh, I want to go back to dog. Like, everyone can stand up and do that.
Yeah.
And you go, oh, I want more of where that came from. Give me what she's having.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm a big fan of walls, chairs. Yeah. Like the yoga mat was invented, I don't know when, but I'm sure they didn't have them in India. Like when it was developed in 6 AD or whatever.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, does anybody have questions, comments?
I was just going to comment. Thank you for that. I think that was, you know, every time I do yoga, I feel like I have headspace back again. I think that's actually what it is for me. You know, whatever it is that was in my head, it kind of eventually slides down and exits my body for a little while. And it's really helpful. And I also appreciate you, you know, talking about these little things we can do to get that back. Because I think, yeah, I mean, if I think about, oh, you could do a yoga thing, like sometimes that feels super overwhelming. Oh gosh, well, I got to make sure my kids are going to be okay. And then I got to make sure that, you know, all this thing's going to happen, versus just taking these moments and actually, you know, just moving my body when I'm thinking, gosh, I'm really kind of not there. I love that. So yeah, thank you for making that accessible. That's really amazing for me.
Oh, you're so welcome. Yeah, and the kids like to mimic you anyway, right? If you go like this, they'll go like that.
Yep, my kids love yoga.
Yeah, it's very cool.
It struck me too how you were saying, like just throughout the flow, you were saying like this little tiny part is a practice, and that stood out to me because I agree, Jenny. I think I tend to make it into this big deal, like, oh, it's going to take 45 minutes. So, and getting all the pieces in line to actually do this without interruption. Okay, honestly, that's not practical in my life anyway. So why am I even still trying to do that when I can take 3 minutes or less to do something and make it my own and my practice? So I think, yeah, a lot of this is about a larger surrender as well, of not trying to take that 45
50-hour workout. If we can, awesome, right? Like go for it. I'm
Absolutely.
not saying not to, because that would be bliss. But I think
Yeah.
that's wonderful to be able to be accessible like that in little small moments.
This is how we started.
Yeah.
Just that with the breath. Just doing that. You go, accumulate calm. That's what I'll leave you with.
I love that. I love that phrase, accumulating calm. So we are coming up to the end of our session today, and I just want to tell you thank you. I think we all needed this and we all benefited from this. If you're watching online on Facebook, on live, or on replay later on, please let us know in the comments how you enjoyed this flow. Drop a note for Bonnie there. And I want to let you all know that we have several more gatherings coming up. I'm going to paste the links now, if it will let me, into the chat. Okay, just kidding. I will be right back to, here we go. Post the link in the chat to some upcoming gatherings. Yeah, it doesn't like me this morning. Megan, can you help me out?
Yeah. As you sign off, I'll go ahead and find those links for sure.
Oh no, I'm not going to be back. But if you can post the links in the chat, we have all of our June gatherings scheduled and coming up. So next week is going to be our West Valley gathering. We are going to be talking with the Avondale Resource Center about all the things they have to offer out there in the West Valley. So if you have people that you know there, or if you'd like to join in too, to just broaden your knowledge of what's available on that west side of the valley, please do. And then following that, we have our Moon Muse session, creativity session with Keely Bruner. That's going to be coming up in our central gathering the following Wednesday. And then our Thursday East Valley gathering, trying to bring this out of my brain. So our Thursday East Valley gathering is going to be all about becoming a doctor after becoming a mother. And this is going to be a great chat with Gigi Pendlebury. She's amazing. And I'm very much looking forward to hearing her talk about that. So please join us for all of those. If you have not filled out our conference survey, post-conference survey, please do. You should have received a link for that if you attended the conference. So if you need that, we can also put that in the chat as well. The other exciting news that we have coming up is fourth trimester is building, it's growing, and we are starting an ecosystem in Arizona. And what that is basically time to come together as practitioners, as parents, as anybody really who supports the fourth trimester for families. And so we're going to be having a lunchtime conversation series starting the first Fridays. So the first one is coming up on June 4th, and you can see that on our events page. That link should also be up there potentially, or not. I will make sure that gets sent out, but you should be receiving newsletters. So if you are not yet, please click on our Mad Mimi registration and you can get on to our newsletters and find out all about what that is coming up. Would you like to add anything, Jenny, before we close today?
I was just going to say thank you to Bonnie. Yeah, thank you to all of you who are here with us today and shared this space. I have a lot more headspace now, like I said, and I'm really looking forward to, I'm working on finishing the email for the lunchtime conversation today about the impact of COVID on birth. So now I have a little bit more headspace to think about that. So thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Our next Tucson gathering is going to be actually Erica, who's on the call with us today. That's going to be the fourth Wednesday of June. Yes, June is the next month coming up. It's summertime for my kids, so my head is a bit explosive as far as like what's coming with my house and my chaos. So Erica, would you like to just speak briefly to that and what you'll be speaking about? Or is that too much putting you on the spot?
No, it's fine. Yeah, so I'm an Ayurvedic practitioner, so I'll be building off a lot of what Bonnie has said. I mean, really, this is the work, is regulating the nervous system. And so I'll give a little bit of insight to this Ayurvedic view that it's traditional that there's a 40-day period where the mother's really cared for after birth. But what I'll be talking about is really this psychological aspect, the archetype of moving from maiden to mother, and how this happens even with each new pregnancy. There's a transformation that happens, and then how can we support that? So we know it's happening, but it still feels really destabilizing. So how can we support that with our daily routine, our breath practices, and our diet, lifestyle, this sort of thing? So
Love it. I'm so excited. It's going to be a great building off of what you did today with us, Bonnie, and hopefully we'll have these little practices, right? Up until that time.
I love that accumulating calm. Oh my gosh, it's so perfect. That's it.
We teach what we want to learn, right?
Oh gosh, it's so true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you all for being here. With that, we're going to close out our time this morning. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week and a wonderful weekend. We'll see you next week.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Bye.